Hello, I'm John Shepherd, and in this short video I'm going to answer some questions that have been sent in to the YouTube channel. Okay, the first question's been sent in by Mr. Augie01, and he's asking about a long jumper who has great form, great speed, and he's been jumping for a number of years but can't seem to jump beyond 24 feet, which is about 7 meters 30. Obviously, without seeing the guy jump, it's going to be difficult for me to pass great deal of comment. However, it would seem, given what's been asked in the question, that the main issue could well be the transference of speed from the run-up through into the jump via the takeoff. Obviously, if you're unable to transfer the speed that you developed on the run-up into an effective takeoff, then you could be losing vital distance. So it's important to set the jump up. If you've been watching my videos regularly, you'll know that I favour a flat-footed penultimate step. Now, this can be measured so that you always know the ideal distance between the penultimate step and the board. Generally, for a guy, for a man, it's going to be around about 2 meters 20, and about 2 meters for a female. That's off of a full run-up. So what's so important about setting up the penultimate step with the flat foot? Well, what it does is it transfers the hips forward into the takeoff. It develops more of a rhythm into the board and transfers greater velocity. In another video, I looked at IAAF statistics on biomechanics from the 2017 World Championships long jump, and you'll see that the last stride was pretty much consistent for all the top guys in the final. So if you always work to the penultimate step and the requisite distance between that and the board, then you're more likely to get into the most effective position to take off. I'd say that over 90 to 95% of the distance that you're going to jump in the long jump is determined by the run-up and the specifics of the takeoff. So you must always work on that over and over again in training. The second question comes from B. Hattie Porky, and it's really about how long should a run-up be. Basically, the length of your run-up will be determined by your ability to accelerate and reach maximum velocity for long jumping or triple jumping. Now that maximum velocity is different to the max velocity required by sprinters. There's always going to be a degree of control with a long jumper or a triple jumper, as they need to be in the right position and relaxed enough to effect the optimum takeoff. I'm going to give you an easy way by which you can judge the distance as a starting point for a run-up. What you need to do is have a coach or a fellow athlete stand about 35 meters away from you, from where you're going to run. You start and you just sprint, but with an element of control, because remember, we're looking at long jump speed, triple jump speed, and not sprint speed. Your fellow athlete or coach will look for the point when you begin to slow down. At that point, they should put a mark down on the track. Now that's going to equate approximately to the length of your run-up. If you've passed the coach, the athlete, and they put a mark down and it's not the correct foot for your takeoff, don't worry about that, because you can easily adjust that when you swing round and run back down the run-up towards the board. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit in a moment about the 3 phases of a run-up, because you need to distribute your energy optimally through the run-up. Personally, I think that a lot of long and triple jumpers don't work enough on their sprint technique in order to optimize the effectiveness of their run-up in terms of the speed they generate and also in terms of the positions they achieve at the board. And to this, I'll add that a lot of jumpers don't effectively accelerate. The acceleration phase of the run-up requires a different type of acceleration to that of the sprinter. It's not an absolute acceleration. It has to be controlled. There's a slightly slower rhythm, but the way that you move your feet, the way that you extend through the hips, and the way that you position your torso will also have a very positive effect on aiding that acceleration. What I get my jumpers to do is to take their feet away from them at the start, so they're using their hips to move their legs away through an extended position So instead of pushing hard back against the track, they're actually moving forwards. They keep their feet low to the ground for 2 or 3 strides with a slightly inclined posture, then gradually start to rise up as they transfer into the middle part of the run-up. If you can't accelerate well, then you're going to have problems further down the run-up. You're not going to reach your optimum speed and you're going to get tense, or you're going to struggle to get to the board in the right position to take off. Finally, on this subject of run-up and its construction, every stride should be accelerative. So yes, I've just talked about the specific mechanics of the first phase, the acceleration phase in the run-up, but you need to keep accelerating on each stride up to the board. And off of the board for that matter, as the takeoff stride counts and is in fact very crucial. Don't switch off in the middle of the run-up, keep working on those ground contacts, pressing forwards and moving forwards into the takeoff to generate the most amount of speed that you can. The most amount of speed, I will add, that you can handle optimally in order to get your most effective takeoff. And the final question in today's video comes from H. Albright, and he asks about the amount of units of training that you should do in a workout. And this is in reference to the real workouts video that I did. Now in that video I showed a number of workouts, and each workout contained a number of different aspects, different units of drills for example. They are all part of the workout itself. So a lot of coaches, a lot of athletes may think, for example, that if you're doing a sprint session, that the sprints are the only part of the workout that matters. Well, obviously they are the crux, the crucial aspect potentially of that workout. However, what you do before that is equally important. You need to get your body ready to run fast in that particular example. So there are a number of units of drills, types of drills that you can do to enhance that potentiality. Another thing that I strongly believe in is the relevance of drills as a means to condition the body for all the elements and aspects of sprints and of the jump. So you'll see that our warm-ups and our initial drill sessions include, for example, plyometric work. We'll do straight leg hops, we'll bound, we'll do takeoff drills, we'll do foot strike drills and so forth, as they're all designed to improve the aspects that are required to jump further and run faster. So what I suggest in terms of answering the question further is to select 3 to 4 units of drills and of the key aspects of the workout that you want to achieve. Technique work for sprints, technique work for jumps, for example, and then to put those all together into one workout. You start with the more basic drills, or we tend to do that anyway, particularly in the off season, with marches, lunges and so forth, and then we go on to more dynamic drills. And these will progress the athlete in terms of readiness for the meat of the session, for the technique work, for the run-ups, or for the sprints, for example. As usual, thanks for watching, and do subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you may have in the section below or through my social media. And YouTube has now enabled the community settings tab on the channel, so I'll be posting different types of content and alerting you to videos when they're released and so on in that section, so do check that out.